What is up, everybody? It is Jason from Jason Sports Clips, and I am brand new to the YouTube community, and that's why you're seeing me for the very first time. I just want to give a quick little recap. My name is Jason. I am a Packer fan, as you can see. Die-hard Packer fan, not like the Green Bay is good and I don't know it. No, I'm a die-hard Packer fan. I love Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams. I love all of them. Okay, I'll be posting NFL content. I'll be doing predictions. I'll be doing weekly picks. I'll be probably doing power rankings and all that little stuff. If you're seeing this for the first time, please like and subscribe. If you love NFL content, it would help me out a lot, give me more motivation and all that little stuff. I might be doing MLB content too, but I'm not sure if I am possibly making another channel for that. But that'll be a little bit later in a week or two, maybe a couple weeks, something like that. So like I said, just give me comments of your opinions and all that. And now let's get started with the NFL predictions of 2020. Just before I get into the video, I just want to say that I am not an NFL expert. These are literally just my opinions, a basic NFL fan. And when I'm going through these standings, I am looking at last year's standings and how they did, like how the teams did, what was their win and loss record, and so forth. I am looking at the new additions. I am looking at their subtractions from the team. So I just want to get that clarified. That's it. Remember, I'm a basic fan. I'm not an NFL expert. Don't get triggered. Don't get mad if your team's number 4 on my list, okay? Oh, and now I am not putting the wins and losses. I'm just literally going 1 through 4, okay? So to start off in the AFC East, the number 4 team in the division is the New York Jets, okay? So they added Frank Gore, George Fant, Joe Flacco, and Brashad Perriman. But like the team compared to last year, they didn't really improve that much. Like I said, they added Frank Gore in small pieces, but you know what's really gonna kill them this year is they lost Robbie Anderson and Jamal Adams. Those are their top 2 players on their team. And I mean, I still don't trust Adam Gase. He's not a coach, you know. Something's up with him. Like I remember when he got hired. And he was like doing a press conference. He was like all whacked out with the little googly eyes and all that. But you know, I say the Jets are gonna finish below 500 for sure. They're finishing 4th in their division. And the number 3 team in the AFC East will be the Miami Dolphins. They actually, you know, improved a lot during the offseason. They got hundred, 500, and they'll be about 8-8, 9-7, something like that. But I do see them being number 2 on the AFC East, and obviously that leaves the last team to be is the Buffalo Bills. I truly do think they'll go about 10-6, maybe 11-5. They actually added Stephon Diggs and Josh Norman, which Josh Norman's not really in his prime anymore. He's on the decline. But Stephon Diggs is in his prime. And they really had, like, Stephon Diggs can 100% be their #1 wide receiver now. Josh Allen is going to be great. He's going to be so much happier with that offense now. And they added a couple of small pieces on defense. They also didn't really lose anybody during the offseason. They just lost Frank Gore and Lorenzo Alexander, which he was okay, but you know what I mean. So I got the Jets finishing 4th place. I got the Dolphins finishing 3rd place, the Patriots finishing 2nd place, and the Bills winning the division. And that is it. Now we're going on to the AFC North. And for the 4th place team of the AFC North, I am pretty sure you already know who I'm going to pick. And that is the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, they drafted Joe Burrow, in which he had a great college season last year. He was throwing up video game numbers. He was that good. But that didn't really change their team because they didn't really add a lot of people. They lost Tyler Eifert due to free agency. And they lost Kirkpatrick. I believe that's his name. Yes, it is. They added Mike Daniels. So they beefed up that little defensive line. But AJ Green, he's banged up. Who knows how he's going to be at the end of the year or throughout the season. So, nothing to really say about the Bengals, except they're going to finish 4th. And now on to the 3rd place team, which is now the Cleveland Browns. I completely jumped on the bandwagon last year. I seriously thought they were going to make the playoffs because they added so many pieces. And Baker Mayfield, it was the 2nd year, so I thought he was going to really step up and improve, but it ended up being completely different. But the Browns did add Austin Hooper and a couple of safeties. So they did add up to their weaknesses. But they also lost a couple of middle linebackers. So they added pieces to their weak spots. But then they lost a couple of pieces to their strengths. So it's like 50-50. I think Baker Mayfield will have a little bit better of a year. Because last year he was a stinker. But I still think the Browns will finish 3rd. And now the Steelers are becoming the 2nd place team. They did get Big Ben back, and he was out for about 90% of the season last year due to an arm injury. But the Steelers really didn't add anybody. They got Eric Ebron, and their draft was okay, but they didn't really lose any pieces. They didn't really gain any pieces, except they got Big Ben back. So now on to the 1st place team will be the Baltimore Ravens. They had a great year last year. Great year. Lamar Jackson threw up MVP numbers, quite literally, because he got the MVP award. And they got a little bit scary on that D-line, too, with adding Calais Campbell for pretty much a bag of chips. But they did lose Hayden Hurst, which is their tight end. They lost Earl Thomas because he didn't know how to be nice. They lost Marshall Yanda because he retired, which he was a really good offensive lineman. But they did add Patrick Queen in the draft. He's a middle linebacker. So, they lost a couple pieces. They added a couple pieces. I feel like they'll be a little bit worse than last year. Because, they were so good last year already. They were 14-2. So, I think they're definitely finishing 1st. But I think they'll finish about 12-4. Maybe 13-3. But something like that. So, the 4th place team will be Cincinnati Bengals. 3rd place, Cleveland Browns. 2nd place, Pittsburgh Steelers. And the 1st place, Baltimore Ravens. Now going on to the AFC South. Now this division is actually pretty good besides one team, in which that will be the 4th place Jacksonville Jaguars. This team is in complete rebuilding mode. I've never seen a team that got rid of so many good players in one offseason for literally nothing. They got rid of Calais Campbell. They got rid of A.J. Boye, Leonard Fournette, and, there's other couple small pieces, but they also got rid of Nick Foles. But, this team will not be good at all this year. I see them winning 3 to 4 games this year. They added Tyler Eifert and Joe Sherbert. I believe that's how you say his last name. He's a middle linebacker. But, yeah, no. Jaguars definitely 4th place. Now on to the 3rd place team in the AFC South will be the Indianapolis Colts. Now, they actually got a lot better. They got DeForest Buckner. They got Phillip Rivers. They got Xavier Rhodes, which he's not in his prime anymore, but it's still a veteran presence. And they got Trey Burton, which I believe he's hurt for like the first half of the year. I'm not 100% sure about that. But they did lose Adam Vinatieri, which kind of sucks. I don't know if he retired or not, but I know he's not on the team currently. But I believe the Colts will be good this year. But, I think they're going to be third place. And they'll be behind the second place team, will be the Tennessee Titans. Now, they added Jadeveon Clowney just about a few days ago. And that is a huge signing for them. That completely fills in the gap for Jarrell Casey, in which he actually went to the Denver Broncos. But, shoot, they also got Vic Beasley, too, as a left outside linebacker. But they did lose Marcus Mariota, Jarrell Casey, Dion Lewis, Delaney Walker, Logan Ryan, and Cameron Wake. That is a lot of big names they lost. But I still feel like they're going to be really good with Derrick Henry, and I think Ryan Tannehill will have an improved year. So I believe the Titans will be second place. And now you might think I'm crazy, but Bill O'Brien will still finish off first place in their division with the Houston Texans. That trade they made with the Arizona Cardinals, trading DeAndre Hopkins, was absolutely terrible. Bogus. Stupid. But they still got Randall Cobb, which he's like a number 3 wide receiver maybe. They got Brandon Cooks, he's fast. They got Bradley Roby and David Johnson, which David Johnson he's like an okay running back now. But they got a couple wide receivers to fill in for DeAndre Hopkins. They did lose a couple of corners. So, I don't know. I believe in Deshaun Watson. He just got that big contract. I feel like he'll be really good this year, even though they lost DeAndre Hopkins. So, I feel like it'll be a really close race between the Texans, Titans, and Colts, to be honest. Jags are not in it at all. So, the Texans will win the division. So, to recap, the Jaguars number 4, the Colts number 3, the Titans number 2, and the Texans winning the division. Now, on to the last AFC team. We're going to the AFC West. And the 4th place team will be the Las Vegas Raiders. They added Henry Ruggs from the draft, in which he's a pretty fast wide receiver, if you're telling me. They added Nelson Aguilar, which he cannot catch the ball to save his life. They added Jason Witten, a veteran. They added Carl Lasab from the Buccaneers. You got Theo Reddick and Corey Littleton from the Rams. That's a pretty good pickup, though. Corey Littleton's a very good middle linebacker. A little bit overrated, but he's still good. Don't get me wrong. But I personally don't believe that Derek Carr is a great quarterback. I think he's mediocre. He has a couple of good games. He has a couple of terrible games. So I believe the Raiders will be 4th place. And I had a hard time picking between the 2nd and 3rd place team with the Broncos and Chargers, but I had to go with the Broncos being 3rd place just because they lost Von Miller for the rest of the season, I believe. They did add A.J. Boye, Melvin Gordon, and Jarrell Casey, but they also lost Chris Harris, Derek Wolfe, Von Miller, and Joe Flacco, which Joe Flacco, don't worry about him. They replaced him with Drew Lock. And which, speaking of Drew Lock, he showed a couple of really good games last year. He showed potential. So, now he's got a little bit more learning. He's a little bit more comfortable. So, I believe he'll be a lot better this year. Oh, and they also added Jerry Jeudy in that draft. I almost forgot to mention that. But they'll be good. They got Cortland Sutton. That's his name. I almost forgot his name. But I feel like they'll be good just behind the Chargers. And the Chargers are the 2nd place team. Now, the Chargers. They had a couple of big signings. They got Chris Harris, Brian Bulaga, Linval Joseph, and Trey Turner. And they also drafted Justin Herbert, which I don't believe he's starting at the beginning of the season. It will be Tyrod Taylor. But they lost Phillip Rivers, Melvin Gordon, Travis Benjamin. I didn't even know he's on the Chargers. Then they lost Thomas Davis. They're both okay players. So I believe the Chargers will be a little bit better. But there's no way they're going to be 1st place behind the Kansas City Chiefs. They won the Super Bowl last year. There is no way they're not winning the division this year, or unless they completely mess up. Looking at my little sheet real quick, they lost a couple of key pieces. Emmanuel Ogbah, I believe that's how you say his name. They lost LaShawn McCoy and Kendall Fuller. They didn't really add anybody, but they did sign Patrick Mahomes. They signed Chris Jones. And I know there's somebody else that just got signed too. I don't know if it's Travis Kelce or not, but I'm not going to say anything because I forgot. But no, Kansas City Chiefs are 100% going to win the division this year. If they don't, then something really went wrong.